So today, I'm going to be turning one knife into $100,000 from Ghost of Tabor. I'm only going to be using a backpack and a knife. The backpack obviously to hold stuff, and the knife to kill any people that try to stop me. For our first raid, we spawn at the train station, which usually has some okay loot, but there are like around 3 NPCs here sometimes. Usually there's at least one. I already put my knife to work by stabbing someone directly into the head, and then I ended up grabbing a gun from one of the crates and killing these 2 NPCs right here. I was already almost dead, so I had to grab the syringe. I was going to end up selling it since I do sell for a decent amount of money, but I just ended up doing that. And then I grabbed a pistol off the floor because I'm going to be trying to make as much money as I can, maybe even over $100,000. And I grabbed this cash just because cash can be worth some good money. I started heading to the exfil. After getting shot quite a few times, I grabbed another syringe instead of looting up all the crates. Thankfully, I did end up killing him, and I found a Thompson, so, I can use that for safety. He didn't really have anything on him, so I didn't look at his body. I looted this crate and got a little bit of a gun upgrade, because this gun was almost out of ammo, so I got an AK. I went up to York Room and found that it was already looted, and I began looking for the guy in there, but I couldn't find nobody. I went inside eventually and saw that he didn't even loot the entire place. What a bimbo. And left around a $250 charger up in here. This entire place didn't look looted, so I was just wondering if maybe the NPCs killed him while he killed the NPCs. I went into the rat hole to try to find York, which it wasn't there, and the cache had nothing in it either, which was pretty devastating. I came back out and started looking near the office room, and already found some guns right on the floor, which is probably where that guy died from earlier. I checked both ways to make sure it was safe, and immediately started heading into Red Room, where I found a whole bunch of loot on the ground as well. 2 backpacks and a level 2 armor and some guns on the floor, and it had level 2 night vision in it, which is super hard to find and kind of rare, so I definitely made sure to take that. I also began backpack swapping because I kind of didn't want to have to hold like 8 backpacks, so I put everything in one backpack and got out of there. As I made my way into the garage, I made sure to check and make sure everything was safe, and I began heading down to the main door exfil. But first, I obviously have to loot everything to make sure I can hurry up and finish this challenge. So, I checked, and I got a $400 little chip thing right here. Not really worth it, but I'll take it just to help with the challenge a little bit. And now I need to start heading down the elevator to get to this green little exfil area. But first, of course, I took the syringe because money is money. I eventually made it down there and started exfilling, and that was it.
Forget to stow your armor and gear in the appropriate areas. Bunkers are no longer considered secure.
Just so you guys know, I can't take anything from my bunker into a raid with me unless I got it from a raid, so any of this armor, not acceptable. None of these mags I can take with me. Only stuff I get on the raid, like all this, so if I don't have enough mags, then I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I got storage spawn, which isn't the worst, especially because it's right next to garage, and checked for people. When I didn't see anybody, I started looting, and there was basically nothing in there, nothing worth it. But I did end up grabbing the scrap, just because money is money, once again. And I immediately went into garage to check if there's anybody there. After not finding anybody for a quick second, I decided to start going to Red Hallway. But then I got into a standoff with someone who was in the left area. And I had to hide behind a pillar for a couple of minutes as we fought, but eventually I ended up getting him. He didn't have anything important on him, so I just skipped over that part, but I did take this syringe, because I was pretty low. He did hit me a few times. I eventually went to boss room, and found quite literally nothing, but there was a few things I took. Player who he ran into Red Room. I chased after him, of course. Another player hiding behind the door, which I killed. I switched to my other AK because I had 2, and took all their loot. They didn't really have anything, but they had a couple of things, so I decided just to take it and put it backpack swap it. I then went to office room and looted up there, which I found around like $2 grand worth of stuff, so kind of worth it. Especially when I think a lot of the people in this lobby are already dead, because I've already killed 2, so that only leaves 3 left. I eventually made it to York room, which the odds of York spawning were pretty good, so I looted this room quite a lot in this challenge video. Another standoff here in a crate. I ended up getting rid of both of them. I think I did run out of ammo though, so I tossed it, which is kind of stupid, but I didn't think about it. I ended up finding another pretty good gun. I don't know what it's called though. And no York, but in the crate there was a Ghillie, which I decided to take because a Ghillie is a Ghillie. And it's one of my favorite guns in the game too. I also put a laser sight on it to make it more efficient, and I started heading to an exfil. I did end up looting the crate just because I wanted to make as much money as possible, but didn't take it, even though that Thompson mag was probably worth around $2,000, and I probably should have. I just decided not to. I did find an iron sight in here, and it was one of my favorites, the green one, but there is some better ones still. But for an AR, that's probably the second best one, and an electric e-wallet, which did come in handy later, as it was worth $3,000, and I exfilled. So another backpack to add to our collection, which I put right here. And then I ended up selling our AK, and in total so far, we have made $2,900. This raid, I decided to go in with my teammate, Sean, and me and him actually had a pretty good raid together, and he was already starting to ask me questions like how to eat these little chews things, which you can actually buy online if you guys are interested in buying some energy things. I immediately killed the NPCs and eventually got to boss room where I looted up, and me and my teammate had a bit miscommunication since he doesn't know where boss room is. He almost ended up killing me if you watch right here. After that, I saw someone over here, shot at him, and then started freaking out, slammed my gun into the wall, and decided I was just going to head back and look for my teammate. Now, thankfully, I kind of used my teammate as an advantage here and decided to try to make him go out there, which at first he refused to, but eventually after we sat for a second and waited, he decided he would do it. Right here is where we advised the plan. He ran first. I checked the corner because I always like to be safe, and we went to go look for him. Now, when I first saw this guy, I thought he had maxed out armor. I don't know if it was like level 2 and it was just in the dark, but I did find another guy's level 2 armor over here, so... And then I looked around, saw him out there, so I knew that he was still out there, so I was kind of terrified of him having max level armor. So me and my teammate sat in here for a little bit, and he actually ended up finding an MK Alpha, I think it's called. Oh no, an AK Alpha. And he was pretty excited and wanted to get out of there, and I found a spoon. I made it down to York Room, and it was already looted. There was 2 guys in there, which I shot one, and then my teammate was a hero and died. Luckily, he killed the guy though, so technically he was a hero, so thanks Sean for saving my life. After looting both of their backpacks, I put some stuff together and ended up trying to get out of there. The entire exfil place was already looted, so I kind of just exfilled and got out of there. So thanks to Sean for helping me get a whole bunch of loot. And that's our 3rd backpack going on the wall. I was having a bit of trouble with the backpack there. And now I am deciding to sell all these backpacks, so let's go straight and do that. Alright, so I'm not going to be selling the FMJ powder, because one of my friends told me that you can't sell it, and also I don't think it sells for that much, so if I'm wrong, comment down below, and either way, it didn't get sold in the end. So I put all this stuff on the table and got ready to sell it. I waited for the computer to load all the stuff I had, hoping it wouldn't crash, and eventually it worked. So I started immediately selling stuff, and in the end, I made $31,293. I started off, found 2 helmets. I only took 1 though, because I couldn't waste any time with helmets. Made it into this exfil room where I got shot at and became in the Matrix. Did you just see that? Holy shit. But eventually I went back to the exfil area and got a lootie, and I didn't leave yet because I really didn't have anything, so there was no point of leaving. I went to the train station area next and killed this NPC who had no clue that he just died. So, yeah. I found a site and some cash, which sites kind of sell for a lot. So if you're looking to make a lot of money in Ghost of Tabor, just fill up a backpack with sites and you will make a lot of money. That's kind of how I started my charity. After being stupid and not realizing that as a pistol suppressor, still don't know all the sights in this game, I found a Tommy thing, and I was just going to leave it, but this time I decided, let me take the mag, because of how much it's worth, and put that in there. Now, I felt safe and ready to leave, so that's exactly what I did. And our fourth backpack going on the wall, with an Uzi in it. So this spawn, I got tunnel, another helmet, and I went straight to the same exfil. This is a very common exfil, so if you see me going here a lot, it's just because I get this exfil a lot for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, Missile Silo isn't as big as Island though, so it kind of makes sense. There was no electric e-wallet, which is kind of sad because of how good the other one was, but I did find a Tommy and went up to York. This time it wasn't looted though, because the people were still in there. I killed them, made sure to check, and then started going straight in to get me a syringe and some loot. There was no York, and I found an SMG and another pistol suppressor, which goes for a lot. And then I started walking out and heard somebody. Yeah, I pretty much ran straight into them. That's kind of on me. I won't get mad at that part. But I kind of got stuck on him, which kind of sounds super weird, but it's honestly general. I kind of got stuck almost. But anyway, this spawn is super rare. Barely ever get it, and I was pretty happy that I got it because it's right next to York room, and that's exactly where I went. I've been trying to get York since we started, so you know, pretty long journey here. So these two NPCs kind of mag dumped on them, so that gun was kind of useless now, so I kind of just tossed it. Use the syringe like always. Kind of not saving these anymore. And then I found an AKM, I believe it is, or I think it's an AKSU. This is one of my favorite guns. I really like all the AKs in this game, and the Glee. The Glee is super good. But this time I finally found York, which I had some trouble putting it in my backpack, which I've kind of had trouble doing it at all recently. But yeah, then I spotted two people right here, as you see that I was terrified, didn't want to lose this, so I lit this guy up right here. Went back, looked for a grenade. Not yet. Shot him again because he was still peeking. Missed 2 bullets though. For some, I should have probably focused on one, but I did find a grenade. Tossed it, missed, boom. So yeah, that was embarrassing. But now we're at storage, and we'll just try to recover from that one. That one was kind of bad. I saw a guy down here, so I ended up just sitting here waiting for a few minutes. Then he eventually came, and I lit him up. I haven't even put in his backpack, so I'm just gonna skip that part. Found this Phoenix, and I killed him, and my gun was now out of ammo, and this place was already looted, so I was in a very bad situation here. So I was praying that boss room wasn't looted, and it wasn't. So free opportunity to have a recovery here, especially after those last 2 rounds where I died. I did end up finding a gas can, but I couldn't really fit that, and even if I did take it, I probably wouldn't have sold it. I would have probably used it for my charity in my bunker, so that probably wouldn't have helped at all. Nothing really important in there except for a site, which, like I said, these goes for a lot of money. And in here is just some 2 fish, so nothing really important in here. I started heading to York again, hoping to actually get a skull this time and not get jumped. I dug down to make sure I didn't get hit too bad. Came in here, shot him. These NPCs, like, got buffed. Comment down below if you guys think the NPCs got buffed, because they are super hard to kill now. Not, like, hard to kill, but, like, on Island. Anyway, I did find another skull, thankfully, and another SMG, which I was kind of scared, because the last time I luckily had an exfil right next to me, so I immediately booked it down to there, and I made it out successfully. For this next run, I got this little stairwell one. I threw a grenade because I was pretty mad because of the last couple of raids, because not all these raids were exactly next to each other. So that raid was right after I died those 2 times. So I found this little area which I never realized I could go through here. So this is kind of a new path for me. So I was kind of like being curious and looking around. But I have been here before, so I went straight into York room. I didn't see no one in office, so I immediately came, dodged some bullets like I'm in the fucking Matrix, broke this guy's neck, went over, broke this guy's neck, and needed a syringe because I was about to die. Luckily, there was an AKSU, I think. I'm just going to call it the AKM for now, so you can correct me in the comments. But there was no York this time, which I was kind of fine with.
Hey, we can talk about
And
it, bro.
another
Don't kill us,
AKM with a cash thing, which I took. And we made it out of this
Don't forget
successfully.
to store your armor and gear in the appropriate areas.
I ended up selling this stuff,
No longer
and
considered
that was
secure.
all I needed for this $100,000 challenge. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think I could do better on these videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.